How do you stay strict carnivore while traveling? Hi, I'm Tom, and this is my carnivore life. Traveling can be kind of a challenge, especially if you're thinking about going carnivore or if you're new to carnivore. But it doesn't have to be as daunting as what you may think it is. There are some ways that you can eat carnivore while traveling, and there are some snacks that you can take with you, and I'm going to cover all that in this video. So me and my wife, we travel quite a bit. We have a camper, and we normally camp between the beginning of April and the end of October. And we go at least once a month, and then in the summer, we'll go a week or two on a trip. Now, being in a camper makes it a little bit easier because I have my kitchen with me. I can, pack whatever it is I want to eat for the week and take it with me. But there are times when we're traveling that I don't have the camper. And one of those times is that we have rental property that is about 3 hours from our home. So when we go up there to work on our houses, I don't have my camper with me. So I have to figure out how I'm going to eat while I'm up there for the weekend and on the trip up and back. Now, one of the things I learned early on was that all of these burger joints, they're going to be able to sell you just the burger patties. Now, they're not going to be the greatest, the most nutritious hamburger patties out there, but even the worst of the hamburgers is going to be better than something filled with seed oils, sugar, and carbohydrates. So keep that in mind. Recently, we went to Wendy's and I got 6 of the large hamburger patties, and it was like $11. Now, occasionally I will go to Arby's, and again, Arby's is not the greatest meat. It's probably, out of all the food chains, that's probably the lowest quality, just because of the seasonings and what they put in the meat. But I will order the largest roast beef sandwich they have and just throw away the bun and eat what's in the middle. And I think that sandwich in my area is about $8. So that's not bad for a meal. That's great for lunch. But if your job requires that you travel a lot, or you're just on vacation, or even a weekend getaway, if you're making quick stops, you're on a freeway, you need to jump off, get something to eat, then those types of restaurants are going to be your best bet. Just swing through the drive-thru, order the patties only, and get back on the road. I would caution you about getting anything with cheese on it, because the cheese slices, generally speaking, are going to be a processed cheese slice. It's not going to be true like cheddar or something like that. Now, if that chain offers you a selection of cheeses, then obviously you can choose what type of cheese you want on that burger. But for the most part, you're going to get the processed cheese slice. Now, if you're planning a trip, then it's very easy to go online and look for restaurants in the area that you're going to be staying and look at their menu. Most restaurants have their menus online, and you can look at those menus and be able to tell which restaurants are going to be carnivore friendly for you, so you can kind of plan your meals out based on that. Now, as far as snacks, and we all know that when we're traveling, we get the munchies and we want something to snack on. And so my go-tos for snacking are generally going to be like pepperoni slices. I'm going to get salami slices, string cheese or Baby Bell cheese, and a new product I found recently, probably 2 months ago, I guess, is at Aldi's. They have this product called Chomps, and it may be available in other stores, I don't know. In my area, it's Aldi's. But these are grass-fed beef sticks. They contain no sugars, and they're organic. They're not that bad price-wise, $5 maybe. And the sticks, they kind of remind you of a Slim Jim, and they're about 5 inches long, and they have a couple different flavors. You can go from just their standard to spicy and things like that. Those kinds of snacks are great when you're on the road, because they give you that protein and fat that you need without giving you any of the sugars or carbs that you would get from, potato chips or something like that. So these are some of the tips that we use when we're traveling. Now, my wife and I recently went on a 2-week trip to Alaska. So 7 days at sea and then 7 days on land. So being on the cruise wasn't that hard because it's a cruise ship. I mean, they've got meat everywhere. So being carnivore on the cruise ship was real easy. And I've heard people question, I'm going on a cruise, how am I going to eat carnivore? Trust me, there is meat galore. Now, being on land was a little bit of a different animal. It still wasn't difficult for us because we rented an RV, mainly because it was cheaper than a car, believe it or not. So once we picked up our camper, we went right to Walmart. We did a menu real quick, went in, got the food that we wanted for the week, and set off on our trip. Now, we also wanted to eat some of the local food there in the different towns that we went to. So, you know, while I'm driving, my wife's looking up the restaurants in the area, which ones are going to have foods that we can eat. And it's primarily we're looking for seafood, but we wanted something that wasn't going to be, you know, adulterated with a bunch of additives, sugars, oils, and things like that. So it was real easy for her to look up the restaurants in the towns that we were headed to, so we knew ahead of time where we could eat and still stay on our carnivore diet. So I hope this has been a little bit enlightening for you. It's really not as daunting as what you would think. You just have to plan properly and you'll be just fine. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you know somebody who's struggling with traveling and eating carnivore, share this video with them. Give me a like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Let me know what kind of snacks do you have? Are there any tips you can have for some of these fast food restaurants that I didn't cover? I'd love to hear it. And as always, have a great day.